Hey everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. As always, I am your host, The Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. Before getting the news, I want to talk a little bit about something I did over the weekend. I did a guest spot on a podcast called Kiss Da Ring. It's with a D-A, not a standard the. And it was with Beastradamus and Burlo. We talked about CES, upcoming games of 2012, cloud gaming, all kinds of cool stuff. A couple of great guys. We had a lot of fun. Go check it out. It's really cool. All right, and the good news, bad news. So kick off the news with one piece of, unfortunately, bad news. Now, a lot of people have been wondering about, Street Fighter X Tekken, because we know that Cole McGrath from Infamous is going to be in the PlayStation versions of the game. Well, will Microsoft have their own exclusive characters? The definitive answer is now no. In a recent interview with Yoshinori Ono, was talking with Xbox 360 Achievements, and he said it was really a matter of timing, that they really wanted to get in like Master Chief or Marcus Phoenix. Those are from the Halo and Gears of War franchises, respectively, but the timing just didn't work out with Microsoft. So that's really sad. I'm looking forward to this game. Big Street Fighter fan. Played some Tekken over the years, but really a much bigger Street Fighter fan. Got my hands on this game, of course, a couple times at a couple different shows. Coming along great. Very different from, just straight up Street Fighter. So looking forward to it, but it's definitely sad there's not going to be an exclusive character. I think it's going to, once again, pull sales towards the PS3 version then, because you get another character there. All right, some good news. Now, for those who have cracked the PlayStation 3's 3.55 firmware update, some really cool stuff has been happening with those who also own a PlayStation Vita already. They figured out how to do remote play from the PS3 through the Vita. They're playing games like Batman Arkham Asylum, Battlefield 3, and as you can see in the video here, Red Dead Redemption. Now, there's some significant lag, and you can even see that in the video, but still, that's pretty awesome. I mean, the remote play with PSP has been on some fairly, low-end games, or it's more worked the other direction, but not with a true high-end, high-definition game like this. And, the fact that they had to crack the firmware to do it kind of shows you that this is something that's, it's within the capabilities of the system. Maybe it's just not there yet. Maybe that's why it's not officially rolled out as a capability that Vita has, because they're trying to work on that lag issue. But still really cool if you're willing to crack your PS3 and have your hands on a Vita, or, end of next month, Vita's coming out for real. So that's pretty awesome. All right. More good news. Now, the PlayStation Network is going to get a bit more friendlier toward microtransactions. Now, some of you are familiar with Dust 514. This is the upcoming first-person shooter that's just going to be on PlayStation Network that actually is cross-platform with EVE Online for PC. Excuse me, a little under the weather right now. But there's going to be a lot of microtransactions in the games. And now, consoles have not been extraordinarily friendly toward microtransactions up to this point. So this is really sort of groundbreaking. They're saying it's not just going to be with Dust 514, but really they're opening up the whole microtransaction market. Basically they're using Dust 514 as sort of the template, and they're going to use that going forward to open that up a lot more. And I think it speaks highly to a lot of the free-to-play MMOs that are out there. They've really just exploded over the last couple of years, and they can't crack into the console market because it's kind of a hostile environment for free-to-play and microtransactions. So I think, at least for PlayStation Network, Dust 514 is breaking down that wall. It's building up a system that they can then transfer over to a lot of other free-to-play games with microtransaction support. It'll just be great. It'll make sure that the console doesn't get behind in that huge growing market. All right, last piece of good news. So, a lot of you know that there's, of course, an upcoming patch for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim 1.4 on PC. How do you get to play it early? Well, just opt into the beta. Really, you opt into the beta right now, you can get early access to the 1.4 patch. So, you get the beta, maybe you'll crash your game, your system, corrupt a save file or whatnot, but hey, it's a beta. That's, kind of how it works. It's par for the course. But, more likely than not, you'll just, maybe have a few weird bugs that you aren't used to, but you'll get to play the 1.4 patch a little early. Personally, I'm good. I got plenty of mods. I got all kinds of stuff going on. I don't think I want to, get the beta to screw up what I've already got going. But if you're looking forward to that new patch and just can't wait, beta up. All right, enough with the news. Time for the pull list. once again, it's time to talk comic books. Ah, that sad, wonderful, dying breed of entertainment that I encourage you to go hit your local comic book store, buy local comics, support that industry. Okay, recommendations for this week. Number 1, Daken Dark Wolverine number 20. Now, I'm a fan of Daken, or Daken, however you want to pronounce his name, because Wolverine has always been sort of this anti-hero. He's ridden the line between hero and villain, but tried to stay on that good side. And with Daken, I thought they brought this version of Wolverine that allows the writers to really go down that dark path, to truly say he's a bad guy who's maybe, trying to find a little light in his life. And in this case, it's very much with number 20, that, the Kingpin of LA has now been revealed, and this is a standalone issue, and Daken is set on a path of redemption, trying to find redemption. He's had this darker life, this darker history, even, a lot shorter, but still darker than just Wolverine's. And it's a great point for people to jump in. If you're a fan of Wolverine, you should definitely be a fan of Daken, the son of Wolverine, Dark Wolverine. Jump in, issue number 20. All right, number 2, Deadpool 49.1. Of course, it'd be Deadpool to do a .1 issue. But this is a new story he's going to launch next month called Dead. And so what is 49.1? Why is it named that? Well, it's a recap of basically the previous 49 issues. And so if you're new to Deadpool, been wanting to jump in, I can't recommend it enough. It's got that great, sort of Marvel Comics, the universe and all those great characters, but this just outrageous sense of humor, breaking the fourth wall. It's a crazy character. The Merc with the Mouth, Deadpool, is just so much fun to read. And so this is once again, fantastic point for people to jump in. If you're already a fan of Deadpool, you can catch up before Dead starts. If you're not sure and you want to find out, it's only $3 to get the issue. You can catch up on his adventures and then be ready for Dead to start up next month. So Deadpool 49.1. All right, my number 3, Infestation 2, number 1. Now, last year, IDW did their Infestation, where they took a bunch of their different properties, all banding together to fight against a zombie apocalypse. Well, now they're going to do it again. This time it's going to be a little different. Instead of zombies, it's, as they're saying, Lovecraftian demons, like Cthulhu and the like, so that should be really awesome. And it's going to be, different properties once again, like they've said Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, and Danger Girl. I mean, it's just, the first Infestation was just so much fun. It's such these unlikely characters and properties mixing together to fight this common enemy, and it's just not one to be missed. It's a fantastic read. The first one was, so I have nothing but high hopes for Infestation 2. So go pick that one up. All right. Number 4, this one's a little weird for me, I know. King Conan, the Phoenix and the Sword, number 1. Now, I'm not generally a fan of Conan or sort of fantasy comics, but when they harken back to the original Robert E. Howard pulp series, really get back into what he was originally doing, way a long time ago, that's when I get interested. I've read some of the actual pulp novels, the Conan stuff, and it was really cool, and it was sort of gruesome and dark and really good. And this is actually based on the very first Conan story. And so it deals with this sort of Coriolanus-esque issues that Conan was dealing with when he became king, that he was this warrior who was now king, and yet fighting the political intrigue of people who were just career politicians. And yet there's also the crazy, malevolent, dark stuff that you're used to Conan sort of fighting with his sword. So it's just a fantastic story, the original Conan adventure, and so I'm looking forward to this, the Phoenix and the Sword arc that's going to be based on that original story. So, once again, as always, I would recommend go to your local comic book shop. Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. Fantastic time to go out, meet your local comic book guru, find out what recommendations they have, go pick up these 4 books as well, and, support an industry that really, really needs every dollar that we can give it. All right, enough with that. Time for Controller Confessional. Now, I did this podcast at Kiss to Ring, and we were talking a bit about cloud gaming, and I was also looking online, and Michael Pachter gave a speech at CES, and he, too, talked about cloud gaming and how it fits into the future of gaming. Now, he's talking about Sony. Sony is well poised for it because, they have this huge music and movie brand, and so it behooves them to go into the cloud. And Microsoft, because they're a computing company, they also have a placed well in the cloud already. And he was even kind of joking that, you know, the next Xbox may turn on your washer and dryer. You know, they're very much into the sort of the home networking and the all-purpose utility console. And even now, I take this very much in a facetious way. I've met Michael Pachter before and talked to them, and so, you know, don't take this as, you know, this is gospel. He says Nintendo doesn't even know there's an internet yet, so trust me, they're going to be making consoles until someone explains it to them. Now, like I said, he understands that, yes, Nintendo knows there's an internet. He's being facetious, but he's making a point that Nintendo is just so far behind when it comes to online gaming, that online gaming is not the future, it's the now, and they're behind. You know, the Wii is almost useless when it comes to that. The 3DS, a slight improvement, but still very challenging to do online gaming. They're too worried about trying to protect their customers rather than giving them the gaming experience they want. And so, back to cloud gaming, you know, I don't see publishers abandoning physical media, especially you look at the big three, the console makers. Now, especially like Sony works on a razor blade model. They lose money on their consoles. They make their money on game licensing. So going to the cloud defeats that whole business model. That's, you know, that's how they make their money. And I see them walking away from that. You know, if you go to a different distribution platform, they're not making money on it anymore. Same with, you know, Microsoft and Nintendo. Now, Nintendo does make money on their consoles, but they still make money on licensing. And so it's not something that they're just going to step away from or walk away from. But cloud gaming definitely is the future. It's not the now. I have OnLive. I've used it some. Graphically, it always comes in second to, you know, PC or consoles. I guess you could say it comes in third at that point. And there is indeed a bit of lag. Now, for certain games, it works better than others. You know, if I'm playing Puzzle Quest, lag, not a huge deal. When I'm playing Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, you know, that's a big deal when, you know, your fighting is based on timing and combos, and it really is kind of a pain, and you can definitely feel it there. But I've seen OnLive get incrementally better over time. Better and better, looks better, less lag, and so it is a matter of time before it gets to the point where it becomes hard to really see the difference. Now, do I ever think it'll truly match having some really kick-ass hardware in your hands? No, that's just not going to happen. It can't happen. There's no way that streaming HD content is going to match what you can get by actually having, you know, a GTX 580 in your computer yourself. There's just no way that it can match up. But I think it can eventually take a big chunk of the console market away, in very similar ways to how mobile devices have taken away a part of mobile consoles. It's not that it's going to kill it off. It's just going to take a chunk, and that chunk is going to stay over there, just because, you know, the ease of use and the lack of the need for hardware. I think in the same way that, you know, console gamers aren't necessarily PC gamers because they don't want to worry about, can my hardware run it? Eventually you'll get to this, you know, cloud gamers using the cloud because they don't want to worry about, I've got to get the new console or the new PC. So I think we'll just see some further segmentation. It's not going to kill our consoles, don't worry. But I think we're going to see it grow, and it will become a bigger, more real, more established force in the gaming industry. All right, so that's enough of my soapbox and enough of this video, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.